Welcome to The Dental Brief, the podcast that delivers actionable insights and expert strategies to help dental professionals like you grow, lead, and succeed. I'm your host, Patrick Shavasty, the president of Omni Premier Marketing. Every week at The Dental Brief, we bring you real conversations from expert speakers that offer expert advice and quick tips that make a real difference in practices nationwide. Whether you're a general dentist or run a multi-location practice, we've got you covered with content that's designed to help you attract more patients, to streamline your operations, reduce headaches in managing your practice, and increase your profitability. If you're ready to elevate your practice, be sure to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and let's dive into today's episode of The Dental Brief. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Dental Brief. I'm back with our returning guest. So excited for today's show. This month is Valentine's Day month. People have birthday months. They have birthday weekends. They have Valentine's Day. We have Valentine's months. Rebecca Herring, say hello to everyone.
Hey, everyone. Great to be back. Thanks so much for having me back on the podcast.
Yeah, grateful to have you. Thanks for taking the time to invest with our audience. We really appreciate that. A little background. I know you've been on the program before. For those who haven't met you or haven't heard you on the show, tell us, how'd you get involved in dentistry?
Well, dentistry, I was really just born into. My dad's a dentist. He's been retired now for 20 plus years. Surprisingly, of all of us siblings, there's 7 of us total. I have 1 sister, 5 brothers. None of us went into dentistry, much to my dad's dismay. But my dad has had a huge impact in my life. And when I was about 21, just had the first of our 7 children, my dad took me on a really incredibly and impactful humanitarian trip to Guadalajara, Mexico. And I figured one day I probably would come back into dentistry. And I did about 15 years ago after my first career. And I'm so glad I did. I love having the impact on teams and people and being able to share my love and passion for dentistry and people and teams, but most importantly, the dentist, which always reminds me of my dad when I'm working with him.
Yeah. So many dentists I hear talk about one of the things they enjoy the most about dentistry is taking a patient, probably hasn't been in for treatment for a long time, that's in some type of pain, and getting them to a place where they're not in pain, and then, of course, getting them healthy from there. That's got to be the thing you love about what you do, right? Your dentists are calling you, they're in pain, right? Their practice managers are calling you, they're in some type of pain. And I guess your first goal is probably to get them out of pain or help them get out of pain, and then really to get them healthy. Does that sound like a fair analogy, similar parallel lines there?
Absolutely. Yeah. They've got some kind of pain point. They're hitting some kind of wall right in their business.
Yeah.
And absolutely. How do we get you there? How do we get you out of that and get the business moving forward in a way that everybody is feeling good? Just like the patients, right? That we want to solve a problem. And that's the first thing we want to do for sure.
So you had the idea before we started recording here that it's Valentine's Day month, that we should talk about loving on your team, loving on people around you and what have you in your professional lives. So let's just talk about that. What kind of pain are you seeing that dentists are having? I mean, I know it's going to lead to, I'll go ahead and just say it for you. I'll answer the question for you. It's team staffing issues, right? Labor issues. Right before this episode, I recorded an episode with the CEO of Spear Institute, and he's saying, yeah, absolutely, same thing. On Sunday, I was out with a friend who's a transitions broker. He's been in the industry for like 25 years. And he said, number one reason why practices go DSO is the pain of dealing with teammates, staffing, labor, all that stuff. So it's painful. How do we get out of it? How do we turn this painful experience into something that's not painful and then something that's very healthy? What's the secret?
Yeah, I love this question. And like you said, I think the fact that it is Valentine's, it's February, we all kind of get a little focused, right? Our teams, our dentists, we get really busy in our practice. And we sometimes forget that appreciating our teams, saying thank you, whether it's our teams, our patients, right? Same kind of thing. It's easy to let it just kind of pass by. And sometimes dentists feel like, from my perspective, that it has to be a grand gesture of some sort, right? But it really doesn't have to be. Our appreciation for our team can be really small. In fact, if it can just be consistent and sometimes just personalized to our team members, it can go a long way. We have team members who, thanks for just staying late today. I know you probably had plans and needed to be somewhere, but thanks for staying late and helping me take care of the patient who was in pain, who showed up, maybe just a walk-in, whatever it may have been. And maybe it just turned into taking care of that patient, but just acknowledging that our team, they're in it for us too. They're there to take care of the practice, our patients, and honestly, just be there. And just sincerely being grateful for their time, for their energy, staying late, helping with the case, celebrating a work anniversary. When we talk
Sure.
about these teams and it's hard to get those stellar teammates to stay on our teams for a long time, I think when we can celebrate those really great work anniversaries, maybe it's 6 months, right? Yay, thanks so much for staying.
Right.
Or it's 1 year,
Month.
it's 5 years, it's 20 years when people can
Yeah.
stay with us for a long time, and just being able to celebrate that with lunch, flowers on their desk, right? Patients come in, oh, beautiful flowers. Who are they from? My dentist and my
Right.
team. I've been here for 5 years, and it's been 5 years today, and we're celebrating me today. And when the team can say it and we all celebrate, we all feel like winners, and we all want to celebrate and remember the good things that have happened on our teams. I think we all appreciate just those little but consistent celebrations.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a huge difference to the morale and the culture that we have in our practices.
Yep. I think a mistake that I made earlier in my professional career with team members, with employees, was kind of always just thinking that they were always money motivated, right? And that a cash bonus would be something that would mean a lot to them, or that they would really love or acknowledge. Or so one thing is, I will tell you from experience, don't be shocked if your team members don't acknowledge gifts and bonuses and stuff like that. Sometimes they just won't,
Yeah.
right? And if you're worried about that and you're upset about you, then that was more about you and less about your team member. So think about that too. What do you think is a good way, knowing that not everybody's money motivated? What's a good way? I mean, just ask, like, how do you find out what really means a lot to your team members and makes them feel appreciated?
I think that's a really great question. And when we have someone that joined for us when I worked in the practice last, one thing that we did when a new team member joined our team was we had a all about me, get to know you sheet that we had them fill out. And it was like really little things, right? Like your favorite color. If you could go shopping anywhere, where would you go? Where's your favorite coffee store? What's your favorite colors? Those kinds of things. And what are some of your fun weekend getaway places? Those kinds of things. Because with that information, you really know what motivates them, right? I like to go
Right.
camping with my family. If I could go anywhere for a weekend or like a night away with my husband, what would I do? I'd like to take my family and do this, right? You learn where their motivations lie,
Right.
meaning they're either really family oriented, or if they really like getting their hair and nails done, or they really enjoy going to concerts, or they're Broadway show motivated, or those kinds of things. So it
Yep.
doesn't have to be necessarily money, but when you can really personalize it for your team members around things that they really enjoy, which if you get it in the beginning on a piece of paper, right, their favorite colors and the favorite candies and things like that, you can really personalize a gift when you need to. It doesn't have to be money, right? But it can
Right.
be a gift that they're going to totally forget they filled that form out for you.
Yep.
And then when you give them a gift that becomes personalized and something that was tailored for them to say thank you, or hey, it's your anniversary, right? Your wedding anniversary. That was always something we asked on our forms. Happy anniversary to you and your husband today.
That's
Here's
nice. Yeah.
dinner out, and here's to your favorite restaurant that you guys like to
Mhm.
go to. That really means something, instead of just
Yeah.
here's this and here's a $25 Amazon gift card, even though I know we all love Amazon. But it means more to somebody.
Right.
But
Yeah.
on the flip side to that, also realizing that sometimes not everybody likes to be publicly recognized. I learned this kind of a hard way with some of my team members several years ago. We had one that did not like public recognition. So we did a lot in our team huddles in the morning, right? It was like, hey, Sally, thanks so much for this yesterday. And hey, Tom, we appreciate you doing this with our patients. We know that was a really tough phone call. I heard it. I heard the yelling maybe a little bit through the phone. Thanks for staying calm. And
Yeah.
thanks for handling that patient with grace and kindness. That falls right along with our mission statement and the core values that we have for our practice. But we had a team member that I called out in front of everybody as a huge shout out. She had really taken care of a patient in the room who had a lot of anxiety, and she sat there with her and talked to her and kept her very calm the entire way through the process of her procedure. And I called that out and with our team because I just thought it was amazing that she had remained so calm with this patient who was not remaining calm.
Yeah.
And she later pulled me aside and she said, "Can you please, I really don't like publicly being recognized. I feel really embarrassed. But I appreciate you recognizing my efforts, but I just don't like it in front of the team." And that hit me hard. I was like, man, I never thought about it from that perspective of someone who may not want the public recognition, but does appreciate the recognition as a team member for what they do.
Yep.
And so keeping that in mind about our teams, how they like to be recognized, it's like the love language in the workplace, right? How do you like to be shown appreciation, and keeping that in the back of your mind? So she would just get lovely notes in her locker
Yeah.
instead of in front of the whole team. And she appreciated it and also appreciated not being in front of the whole team, but her own personal way of being recognized.
Yep. I love the anniversary, by the way. That stands out, right? Because that's not just something that's nice to them. It's going to be meaningful with somebody else in their life. They're going to talk about that. It's going to add a little emphasis on that. So I absolutely positively love that. I think that's brilliant. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense to me. So people want to find out more about you and what you do. I want, first and foremost, check out your website, which is Transformational Dental Coaching. The URL is the yourtdcoach.com. So super simple to remember there. Check it out. Big link right on the front of it. Book a free consultation. So go ahead and click on that, book the consultation, and get with Rebecca. See what's ailing you and discuss that and how you can find a pathway to moving forward and getting yourself out of pain. So Rebecca, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate your time and your energy.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you for hosting an amazing podcast. Lots of great guests you have on here.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Dental Brief. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a colleague who could benefit. We're here to help dental professionals like you stay ahead of the curve, one brief episode at a time. You can find more episodes and resources at thedentalbrief.com. You can also join the Growth Minded Dentist community on Facebook. Links are in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and thanks for being part of the Dental Brief community.